A massive, dimly lit factory sparks flying, machines roaring. Workers turn and laugh as an old man in cracked work boots steps through the gate.
Get out! The furnace
Flash
is
to a
going
mysterious
critical!
document being signed in a dim office.
Move! Everybody
The
out
old
now!
man's silhouette reflected on polished glass. Sudden shift alarms blare, red warning lights sweep the factory. Smoke erupts as a furnace malfunctions. The old man rushes through the chaos, pulling a control lever as flames explode behind him. Silence. Workers stare in shock as he rises. From the smoke, a powerful figure, no longer someone to laugh at. Rain hammered against the sheet metal roof of Mercer Steelworks, an industrial giant that had once powered half the region, but now stood on the edge of collapse. Inside, sparks hissed, forklifts beeped, and men in greasy overalls shouted over machinery. It was the kind of place where no one paid attention to anything that didn't immediately break, burn, or bleed. So when the old man in mud-crusted work boots walked through the sliding gate, nobody cared. At least, not at first. His boots were worn, cracked at the sides, the kind a farmer might use to stomp through a field of wet clay. His jeans were faded, his jacket heavy and sun-bleached. His gray beard was trimmed but unruly, and his eyes were too sharp in the way that made men uncomfortable. He walked with the confidence of someone who had worked with his hands all his life, but also someone who was hiding something. He approached the reception desk where Amanda, a 26-year-old assistant with a clipboard permanently glued to her hand, frowned at him over thick glasses. "Sir, this area is restricted. If you're looking for deliveries, docks are behind the building." The old man smiled. "I'm here for the tour." Amanda's pen paused mid-air. "Tour? What tour?" "The employee tour," he said calmly. "I would like to see the factory floor, the assembly line, and the executive offices." She blinked. Then she laughed under her breath. "Okay, mental note? Don't take strange calls from HR at face value anymore. That's not something we just let people do," she said carefully. "Especially not visitors." "Ah, visitors." He nodded, as though tasting the word. "But I'm not quite that." Before Amanda could respond, 4 workers on break noticed him. They elbowed each other. "Hey, look, another wannabe consultant?" "No, look at the boots, maybe he thinks this is a farm." Grandpa lost his tractor again. "Welcome to Mercer Steelworks, sir. Should we call your nursing home?" They laughed. The old man simply listened. "What's your name, sir?" Amanda finally asked. He paused before answering. "Call me Garrison." She typed it in. Nothing came up. No appointment. No clearance. No HR notice. "I'm sorry, Mr. Garrison, but..." Suddenly, the factory's loudspeaker crackled. "All personnel, report to the main floor. CEO arriving in 5. The workers groaned. "Perfect," Garrison murmured. "That's exactly where I need to be." He moved past the confused assistant and the laughing crew, walking deeper toward the heart of the factory, as though he owned the place. No one knew yet how true that was about to become. A company on. The Edge Mercer Steelworks main floor was enormous steel beams stretching upward like the ribs of a metal giant. Workers gathered, wiping oil from their hands, waiting for the CEO with the kind of weary dread only corporate leadership could inspire. CEO Trent Harlow, age 39, handsome in a cold, polished way, strutted to the center catwalk. His suit cost more than most workers made in a month. He tapped the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, voice booming. "As you know, the company is facing financial strain. But today, I'm announcing a restructuring plan that will secure our future." The crowd groaned collectively. "In which several underperforming departments will be dissolved and new automation systems installed. This means layoffs. Many layoffs." Shouts rose. Anger hissed like steam. Near the back, the workers who had mocked Garrison snickered among themselves. But their laughter halted when the old man stepped forward, directly beneath the CEO. "Mr. Harlow," Garrison called calmly. Trent's eyes narrowed. "I'm in the middle of an announcement. Whoever you are, step back." "I have a counter-proposal," Garrison said. "Sir, this isn't a shareholders' meeting." "It is," the old man replied quietly. "You just don't realize it yet." The workers turned. Murmurs spread. "Who is this guy? What's he talking about? Is he crazy?" "Probably." Trent rolled his eyes. "Security?" But Garrison raised his hand. "Before you have them escort me out, Mr. Harlow, you should know something." His voice changed. It was unmistakable in authority nobody could fake. "I am the final bidder." Trent froze. The workers looked around confused. "What bidder? What's he saying?" "Bidder for what?" Garrison continued. "I've been negotiating quietly with the board for months. And last night, the deal closed, finalized, signed." He reached into his jacket. 4 guards tensed, but instead of a weapon, Garrison pulled out a sealed document folder. "I bought Mercer Steelworks," he said. "All of it. For a heartbeat, the factory went dead silent, no machines, no voices, no movement. Then, yeah, right. Is this a prank?" He's joking. Even Trent forced a laugh. "You, an old man in farm boots, bought a billion-dollar corporation?" Garrison smiled. "Those who judge a man by his boots," he said softly, "are never prepared for the ground he's about to walk across." The past they didn't know the executive conference room filled like a pressure cooker. Trent slammed the door shut. "Who are you?" he demanded. Garrison didn't sit. He stayed standing, surveying the room of clean marble, glass walls, and polished metal. "I founded half the mining operations that supply your steel," he said. "Built mills across 4 states. I've worn these boots through more disaster zones, bankruptcies, and boardroom wars than you could stomach." He placed the signed purchase packet on the table. "My name is Elias Garrison, founder of Garrison Industries. 20 years ago, I sold everything and disappeared after my partner betrayed me. I retired, traveled, built a fortune in silence." He leaned closer to Trent. "And now I'm back." Trent scanned the documents, his face draining of color. They were real, legally binding, stamped, verified. "You bought all the outstanding shares?" Trent whispered. "Correct." "This can't be. It's impossible." "Ah," Garrison interrupted. "Impossible is what people say when they've never worked for something themselves." Amanda, who had been summoned to bring files, stood frozen at the doorway, staring wide-eyed. "You're the new owner?" She whispered. "Yes," Garrison said. "But more importantly, I'm restoring the company. No layoffs. No shutdown. No heartless corporate greed." Trent slammed the documents shut. "I won't let you take my company." "It's not your company anymore," Garrison replied calmly. "Then I'll fight you in court." "You'll lose." "Then I'll expose you." "For what? Hard work?" Garrison asked, raising an eyebrow. "Yes, go ahead. Tell them you were outmaneuvered by an old man in boots." Trent's rage simmered. His fists clenched. "I built everything here." "No," Garrison said softly. "They did." He pointed out the window to the factory workers. "They deserve better, and they will get it." Smoke, sabotage, and secrets news of the payout spread through the factory like wildfire. Some workers cheered. Others doubted. A few whispered about whether the old man could be trusted. But someone was furious. 2 nights later, under heavy fog, a shadow slipped through the loading docks. A gloved hand twisted valves. Another planted a device behind a furnace panel. By dawn, the assembly line was running again, but something was wrong. At exactly 9:47 a.m., the furnace roared too loud. Flames shot unnaturally high. Workers scrambled. Pressure spike. "Shut it down. It's not responding." The emergency alarms wailed. Garrison sprinted onto the floor faster than anyone expected a man his age to move. "Where's the manual override?" he shouted. "Back panel." Someone pointed. Garrison plunged toward it, but a pipe burst, spewing steam. Workers screamed for him to stop. He didn't. He ripped off his jacket, covered his arm, and shoved himself through the blistering heat. His hand slammed the override lever. The furnace powered down. The alarm stopped. The floor fell silent again, stunned. The old man collapsed to one knee, coughing. Workers rushed to him. "Sir, are you okay? You saved us?" "You saved the whole damn plant." But Garrison wasn't listening. He spotted scorch marks where they didn't belong. Someone tampered with the system. Later that night, footage confirmed the saboteur, Trent Harlow. Cornered in his office, Trent swung around as Garrison entered. "You tried to kill people," Garrison said. "I tried to stop you." Trent spat. "You humiliated me. Stole everything." "I didn't steal anything," Garrison said. "I bought what you were destroying." Trent pointed an accusing finger. "You don't deserve this company. And trying to blow up the factory helps your case how?" Trent's face twisted. "They'll never follow you. You're a lick." "Oh?" Garrison stepped closer. "Then why does fear make you sweat?" Trent lunged, but Garrison, despite his age, stepped aside. Trent stumbled, slammed into his desk, and dropped onto the floor. Security rushed in. He was removed in handcuffs. And the workers? They looked at Garrison with something new respect. Rebuilding from the ground up weeks passed. Garrison didn't move into the top office. Instead, he worked every day on the floor. He ate lunch with welders. He reviewed blueprints with engineers. He asked questions not to judge, but to listen. He wore the same boots, the same jacket, and slowly, Mercer Steelworks changed. Cracked roofs were repaired. Broken machines restored. Safety protocols upgraded. Raises issued. Training programs expanded. Asterisk Amanda, now promoted to Garrison's chief assistant, walked beside him through the renovated main hall. Asterisk, "We're at a 22% increase in output, sir," she reported. "Worker satisfaction is up 61%. Absenteeism is the lowest in a decade. Asterisk, what about Trent?" Garrison asked. Asterisk. The authorities say he violated at least 7 industrial safety laws and attempted sabotage. Garrison sighed. "I hope he learned something from this," he said. "I don't hate him. I just wish he had listened to the people who built the company he claimed was his." Asterisk. The workers began applauding as Garrison passed through the floor. Some clapped him on the shoulder. Others shook his hand. He nodded humbly. After all, he had worn their shoes, their pain, their hope. He wasn't just the owner. He was one of them. Asterisk. The day they stopped laughing. Asterisk. 3 months after the bailout, Mercer Steelworks held its largest assembly in 20 years. A stage was built on the factory floor. Cameras rolled. Reporters gathered. Amanda introduced him. "Ladies and gentlemen, the man who saved our company, Elias Garrison." Asterisk. He stepped up, boots still muddy, jacket still plain. Some executives had begged him to dress formally. He refused. "I came here in these boots," he said softly, "and I'll run this company in these boots." Asterisk laughter erupted, not mockery this time, but admiration. He continued, "When I walked in months ago, many people laughed at me. They saw an old man, maybe a fool, maybe a drifter, but no one saw the truth." He paused. "No one saw that I was already your future." The crowd roared. He lifted a paper. Asterisk. "This is my pledge," he said. "A 10-year plan that guarantees job security, expansion, profit sharing, and the biggest growth initiative Mercer has ever attempted. Asterisk, and every worker here," he added, "will share in the success." Cheers thundered through the factory. The workers who had mocked him months ago, approached him afterward. *1 removed his cap, ashamed. "Sir, about the things we said when you first walked in." Garrison smiled, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Son," he said, "you judged a book by its cover. Today, you learn to read deeper. That's all that matters." The worker nodded. Eyes misty. Garrison turned toward the crowd. Toward the company he now led not from above, but from within. And as the applause echoed, one truth became clear. They laughed at the old man in work boots until he bought the company, saved it, and changed every life inside it. And no one would ever underestimate him again.